TRC EDC back again with another knife giveaway. So we're here on 9/11, the 20th anniversary, and I was debating whether or not it was in poor taste to do a giveaway, but I decided that what I would do is turn it into something that could be positive and related to September 11th and remembrance. So what I'm going to do, I'll explain a little bit later in the video how we can go ahead and enter. This is the Spyderco Para 3 DLT exclusive in M390 and Red G10. This is going to be the giveaway knife, but I'm going to be explaining a little bit about how to enter. But before I do that, I'm going to tell sort of my story of where I was on 9/11, and then we're going to get into it. So on 9/11, I was a senior in high school, and I remember we were in math class, and all of a sudden you hear commotion in the hallway. You hear, just a lot of whispering. There weren't people had cell phones, but they weren't, at the point where they had smartphones and things like that back at this time. So it wasn't like you were getting updates on your cell phone. People were still getting most of their news from the actual news, from TV. So, I mean, people did get some stuff from online and everything, but in any event, the messages started spreading. People were getting some phone calls here and there, and all of a sudden the teacher turns on the television, and because there was a television in the classroom, and we noticed right off the bat that literally every channel had the same thing, and it was the iconic pictures of the towers burning. And I remember thinking at that time, like, is this a movie? Like, what's going on? I was a 17 or 18-year-old at the time. I don't remember exactly, but I didn't believe what was going on, right? But everybody was talking. There was a lot of concern. So I'm from Northern Virginia originally, and there was concern because shortly after the tower information, we started getting more information about a second tower being hit, and I can't remember if it was before or after, but the Pentagon was hit. So in Northern Virginia, there was a lot of people who had family who lived in or who worked in the Pentagon, whether it was for defense contractors or the actual Pentagon itself. There was just a lot of people who had, family members in the area. And so there was a lot of concern, I remember, and they shut down class for the day. They shut down pretty much everything, but they would not let anyone leave. They were keeping everyone in, I guess, for safety, because nobody knew when everything was going to be over, because we kept getting updates about more things being hit. So, that day was just sort of just this overwhelming sense of dread, anticipation, uncertainty about, the country, uncertainty about the people who were, in the towers, uncertainty about the people in the Pentagon, and uncertainty in general. And I remember, obviously that was, that was the difficult part. But one thing that'll always strike me is I was very politically partisan growing up, and I remember that I just saw this outpouring of support across the board for our country and the government, and this was right after there was a hotly contested election. I don't know if you probably do remember if you're watching the channel, but the whole election between Al Gore and George Bush, it wasn't that long ago. It was less than a year before that, right? So the country was pretty well divided, and how people came together, how people went down to ground zero and helped dig through what they could, to try to find survivors and to recover bodies, to give proper burials, and just really the outpouring of support that people had was really impressive. But in any event, that's sort of my story of what I remember. If you guys want, as part of your comment below, this is not required for entering the giveaway, but as part of your comment below, if you want to, let me know or let everyone know where you were, what you remember. It's always good to hear these types of things. And so, all right, the rules for entry. So you got to be 18 or older, or have a permission of a parent. You got to have a U.S. mailing address, or be willing to pay the difference between U.S. Mail and anything international. And if you are international, you also assume any risks with customs. You also have to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Guys, hit the notification bell, because I don't always have people who claim their prizes. But the thing that I want you guys to do to enter really is to leave a comment below. And I'm going to put in the description of this video a link to the list of names on the 9/11 memorial. And the reason I decided this was not in poor taste to do was because I wanted to use it specifically to do something that I don't see a lot of other people doing. I want people to remember the victims of 9/11, like specifically the victims, specific victims. So I figure, we're a crowd, we're crowdsourcing here. I thought it would be great if you guys can go to that website. That's the list of 9/11s that I'm going to link down below. Go to that website, find any random name on that website, and then Google that name. For most of those names, the first thing that's going to come up is a legacy.com entry, and it's those legacy.com entries are essentially obituaries for each of those people. And just what I want you guys to do to enter is pick one name, any name on there. Learn a little bit about that person. Take a moment of silence to remember them, because the memory of the departed can be a blessing on them and their families, and frankly their country too. So what I'd like you to do again is go and remember one person, and then in the comment below, I want you to write "I remember" and then the name of that person. Just "I remember," the name of that person. That's the entry. If you want to also, tell me about where you were when 9/11 happened, or any memory that you have, that's great. That's not required for entry. But I do want you to write "I remember" and the name of the person that you remember. This way, again, I hope that we can, create just some blessings for the families and the departed themselves. So I know this is very somber. It's not the normal tone of my videos, but I think this is an important thing to do. And thank you guys so much for watching the channel and for supporting. It's you guys that allow me to do things like this, and I'd like to use this to go and put some good out in the world. Thank you guys so much. Again, don't forget to like that video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, so you guys can make sure to get the drawing. I'm going to run this until Wednesday night at 11:59 p.m. Central. And then I'll do the drawing after that. Thanks so much, guys. Again, remember 9/11. Remember the victims. Remember one specific victim, and together maybe we can remember all of them. Thank you.